That's a lot of jackets. How many bikers sit here or live here? One. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2 more.
That's the problem. Do you have time with you today?
Yes, of course I have time. I want to know what is going on here.
Okay, Ashish, honestly speaking, I've got jackets for all seasons. We live up north in India and we've got 4 seasons in 1 year. It's rain, it's winter, it's summer. So I'm not able to figure out that one jacket which can do it all. I've tried a lot of jackets, I've burnt a lot of money, but I want that one jacket. Do you have a solution?
Yeah, I might.
So guys, this video today is about different kinds of jackets that are available in the market. So which one should you pick? Because we have got 4 seasons. Of course, at your place also you've got at least 2 different seasons and you need different jackets for that. So this is the video about it.
Because we ride long and I assume most of your jackets you use for touring.
Yeah.
Now, why does one jacket not do it all? So you said something interesting that up north,
Yeah.
one jacket may not do it all. Now, of course, this is your personal preference that you have 4 jackets. You know, not everyone thinks like that. Can we just see some jackets and, can you just highlight the point that you were trying to make?
Yes. Okay. So this is the first jacket that I want to show you.
Rather bright jacket.
Yeah, this is for high visibility, especially for the night. It's not just fashion, it is form. I want to be visible at night. So this is a perfect winter jacket, right? Not even an iota of air can seep in because it is absolutely waterproof. There's no mesh whatsoever.
So can I see this?
Yes, please.
See, the reason I'm saying it is, and this is again, guys, we are not recommending any gear specifically. We are trying to just tell you what we use. We ride a lot. Alpine Stars Andy's touring jacket. This is specially made for touring. Now, Sumit, this has vents.
Yeah.
This has vents here and this has vents here. So why can't I wear this in summer?
All right. First of all, this is a pocket, and of course, there's a small vent here, and there's a vent here also. Like you very well mentioned, you still can't wear in summer because behind this vent, there is a fine shield, okay, which just like a wind cheater, some nylon material, so the wind cannot pass through that. So maximum it does is it cools that particular area, so you feel you're cold.
So apart from that, otherwise for touring, whether it's cold or rain, that it does well?
Yes, it does well. For rain, it has got a winter liner which is quite thick. This jacket with a t-shirt inside, it's sufficient for any kind of weather.
Now tell me, I see lots of jackets and I just want to understand. See, this comes up a lot.
Yeah.
And every day some youngster calls me to say or ask,
yeah,
why is brand X better than brand Y? And we're not going to get into that recommendation.
Absolutely.
But just so that, people understand there from a touring perspective, what does all season really mean and what it can do and what it can't do in our experience. This is not a recommendation, this is just for discussion. So fine, I understand this is the Alpine Star Andy's jacket, specialty touring jacket, does very well in rain and cold.
Yep, and it has got a pocket behind. It's quite useful to keep your balaclava or something like that.
Got it.
It's quite handy.
Let's move on. So can we just dig out that Aspida that I see?
Sure.
Now, to me, this jacket, has special significance because I really like this jacket. This is the Aspida all-season jacket. I had recommended this jacket to Vikas because his brief to me was, I don't want to spend more than 10-12,000 and I want an all-season jacket.
Is it really an all-season jacket?
See, he manages it, but like this, if you just see, I can see.
Yeah.
This is all mesh. Now in winter,
Yep.
you will have to layer up as in over the jacket and you will have to layer down, which is under the jacket.
Oh, to block off this mesh.
Yeah. Now, see the interesting now the dichotomy is we are in up north.
Yeah.
You live in Noida, I live in Delhi. The temperature range is 1 degree to 48 degrees.
Correct.
Personally, I don't think I have found any jacket which can take that temperature. Now the problem is, how many jackets do you buy? Not everyone can have a wall full of jackets like you can. So therefore, this is a So no, this is a working man's option. This is a good enough option. And if you are willing to take the hassle of putting a layer under and layer over, this works. Let's just see some more. There is, I see a Rhinox and another Alpine.
I'll show you a typical mesh jacket, which is perfect for summer. So this is an Alpine Stars again, and this is completely mesh. If you see, this entire region is mesh. The back is also completely mesh, right? So I use this jacket for summer, which is predominantly this particular weather. I use it. It's quite 4K.
Not to quiz you, but see, of course, today we can all see weather and anticipate if there is rain ahead. If you're wearing this, and especially supposing, say, you are on the hills, like today in Delhi is 35, 36 degrees, and if we were to ride out tomorrow, which we are, which jacket would you take? And would you be comfortable taking a mesh jacket? Because this kind of looks that if the weather turns cold, it's not going to give you any protection.
Correct. No protection against cold weather. I have to keep my layers, and that is the only solution. Or else I carry my winter jacket separately with me. But that's only possible if either I'm carrying a big luggage or on the bike, or there's a car going with the group.
So that's a bulky solution.
That's a bulky solution.
So we'll come back to this. I just want to see. I want you to see that Rhinox jacket and honestly tell me. And yes, we are not getting into any brand recommendation on anything, but just see the construction of the jacket, the quality. It says Cordura fabric. Now, I don't know the exact price of this jacket. The point I'm trying to make is between your Alpine Stars and this, do you see any vital differences from a gear point of view? Or is it just no difference of brand and...
on the face, it's only the brand, because if I check the weight of the jacket, it's pretty much similar. And I think this is more functional than that one, because the pockets, if you see, they got straighter pockets. For touring, this is better.
Yeah, it seems to have lots of nifty things, including
all pockets. Just like the Andes, which I miss in my summer jacket.
Interesting. Okay, now if you can just bring that Alpine Stars jacket back up.
The mesh one?
The Andes one, yes.
Andes one, okay.
Now, and this is not discussed often enough. And the point I'm really trying to make is, if this is a specialist touring jacket, just walk us through of, while touring, what does this jacket give you the option for in terms of protection and in terms of storage, which some of the other options like the mesh jacket may or may not give.
All right. Okay. First of all, any jacket you pick up, whether it is mesh or a winter or any jacket, you should be concerned about what kind of protection it provides you. Okay. Any jackets you buy must have your arm protectors or elbow protectors. All right. These are, they never give you levels, level 1, 2, 3. Alpine Stars are pretty secretive about it. They have their own nomenclature. So they call it Alpine Stars protection. That's it.
So have you also moved on to preferring D3O?
No, not yet. I'm pretty much satisfied with what they give. And fortunately, I've never met with a big accident.
I'll just take a minute. This is an important point that you're making. See, and that could be a separate video, in which maybe we'll do in the future. The C level 1, C level 2, SASTAC, D3O. Now, one way of addressing this entire argument is, I trust the brand. I trust their process, their production process, and if it's a good brand, assume that they have put in best in class qualities or whatever they could want it to. Does that work as an argument?
That works, because since being a European brand, Europe is pretty strict with their safety standards. So I don't think they can fool around their customers. That is the reason I trust them.
And what kind of protection?
Yes. So coming back to the protection, it must have elbow guards. It must have the shoulder protection, back protection, and some jackets of Alpine Stars come with the chest protector. This also has got pockets for chest protectors, but it doesn't come with it. You have to buy it separately.
So interestingly, buy it separately versus, let's just bring this jacket back. So this is the Rhinox jacket. I believe this comes fully loaded.
Okay.
In terms of, if you just feel it.
But it's got chest protection as well.
And it's got a pretty thick one. It's got back. Again, it has.
But Ashish, is thick better?
Personally, no. Because especially on the chest, it gets very bulky, and especially in summer, you can't have everything where air is passing through. Though now armor is coming where you have holes and air goes by. The point I'm trying to make is here there is an international brand, and then you have to buy everything literally over and above. And I'm assuming, like most brands, this comes with elbow and shoulder.
Yes.
And the rest you need to add.
Correct. Even the back, the back protector also doesn't come with.
So the Rhinox one comes fully loaded.
Wow.
The reason I got this jacket was, I'm not aware if you've seen this jacket before. And since we get this question a lot, if you can just help me with the Aspida one.
Yeah.
Now the Aspida one in comparison has no chest protection.
Okay.
So interestingly, where is the Aspida? There is the Rhinox. Where is the Alpine Stars?
Yeah.
The Rhinox seems to be the most loaded one. And yet there is such a large debate that happens that which jacket is better, and if it's an international brand, it's necessarily. So personally, I also have the Andes. I have the Andes too. I bought it because after having experimented and I'm a scientist and I experiment. I bought it for the fit.
Okay.
And when you're riding 8 to 14 hours like we do, some of the fits are critical, and to me, I think Alpine has got it the best.
Yes, I agree with that.
The touring fit of Alpine, they might not have the same, form functionality as in looks of some of the other brands.
Yeah.
And I can see one jacket hanging there, which seems to be a very cool looking jacket. We'll come to that in a minute. But for touring, and especially the kind of touring that we are doing, 500 to 700 kilometers a day, I would trust this. But having said that, I don't see anything which is missing in this jacket.
You're absolutely right.
To me, if this brand was to invest more in building, customer narratives, I think this is a fabulous jacket. It's got it all.
What is the price of this jacket, by the way?
The price of this jacket is about 9,000 rupees. This
what? 9,000.
9,000 for an all-season jacket in it
for all your protection,
and it comes with a rain liner and it comes with a thermal liner. So it gives you versatility.
Wow.
Now, only caveat is the all-season jacket, like we've experienced, when it's 1 degree. If it's got any mesh, even if you have a liner underneath, some air
good enough
to go in, you will have to overlayer it or wear a layer over it to block that air.
That is where this jacket is better. In winters, it has got a permanent layer beneath it.
But I'm so happy, we're doing this video, because usually there's an assumption that brand X is better and brand Y is not so good. Honestly, this is terrific. And just bringing us the Aspida back again, very high quality construction. Good fabric, is light and seems to have it all. And I've seen Vikas wear this everywhere, in fact, and recently Jassi also picked it up. Now this is what I'm saying. When we rode to Bir Bilay, during the day it was warmish. Maybe mesh was still not needed, but at night, especially when that bike broke down, and whatever happened, that had to happen.
The eventful night.
The eventful night. It was maybe about 7-8 degrees that time. At that point in time, to me, this is the problem. That time, the mesh jacket. And personally, and guys, it comes down to personal preference. I happen to be like this man. I also have summer, winter and mid-season gear. And the reason for that is very simple. While riding, I don't like to fiddle around. I am not one of those, super versatile people who will like to take a layer off and then put a layer on. Same with me. Because, then you have to open your luggage, and it's ironic, we are on a 10-hour, 12-hour ride. So
no wonder you use tailbags, no? That's why it's difficult for you. I use a top case. It's easy to open it.
We'll come to that. I start
do that on the next video.
So what next? So jackets. So do we have a point of view of is this Rhinox good enough?
No, Ashish. First of all, you need to answer the principal question, which is there one jacket for all seasons? Yes or no? Because I think whatever you explained, it's a no.
No.
Right? So,
But if I was living in, say, Mumbai, where the temperature range is not so extreme,
yeah. So mesh jacket with a rain liner is suitable.
possibly yes.
Yeah.
Or if I was living in a very cold place, up north,
Yeah.
so then maybe just one jacket would do.
Correct.
But here we are, and also where it complicates is lots of times we start a ride, like the ride now we are going to go on to. Here currently today is 37.
Yeah.
By the time we go into the night of the destination we are going, it's going to be 9 degrees.
Correct.
Now a mesh jacket, while I'm starting on the ride, will be
Not a very good friend in the mountains.
correct. By the time I reach 9 degrees,
Yeah.
I'm going to be freezing.
Correct.
And on a bike, especially with the speed and the add wind chill,
Yeah. You go further down.
and it's a no-go.
Yeah.
So, but yes, it becomes for people, especially who are just getting into riding. And all season makes sense because it lets you get comfortable with the concept of gear.
Correct.
Because to a person who's just starting off riding, he'll find it very difficult to get 3 different types of jacket, because in his mind, of course, because there's a price associated with it.
Correct.
And the bigger brand you buy, the more the more investment. So yeah, it really comes down to personal preference. But honestly, as a point of view, I think you need separate gear for separate seasons.
All right. Okay, Ashish, there is a new jacket that has come up, by Royal Enfield.
I was waiting for this.
Yeah. This is the jacket which is absolutely native.
I've been seeing this in the.
It is a co-branded jacket by Levi's and Royal Enfield. A lot of people are talking about it.
What do you make of it?
It is specifically for people who give more weightage to the looks of the jacket. Having said that, this has got some tough material, which is essentially Kevlar. Yeah, you can't do that. All right, and it has got a mesh.
Okay.
So it keeps it functional also, while keeping you protected.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. How much is this jacket for?
Okay, this is for 8,000 rupees.
8,000, and it does not come with any arm.
No armor.
Honestly, do you think it's worth it?
No, but it is the only option available if I have to look for a fashion riding jacket which keeps me protective.
Where would you use this kind of jacket?
Perhaps this kind of a motorcycle with that kind of an helmet. But yes, the market for such kind of jackets surely going to be very niche market.
And what about the materials and the comfort? Are you happy with that?
Yes, I am happy with the comforts, but the protection inside. I'm using some old armor which was there with me. I'm yet to buy a new armor. Perhaps a D3O will solve it because that is softer.
Interesting.
It's a bit uncomfortable.
But I like the fact that finally brands are experimenting and doing newer things.
Yeah. Perhaps more competition will get the price down.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I also see a leather jacket now.
Yes.
Now here is a very interesting conversation that's going to happen. I have a leather jacket too. I have the original Triumph jacket, and honestly, I bought it on a whim. It was one of those go into store, get swept off your feet, brain freeze moments. It was a really expensive jacket. I struggled to use it consistent.
Similar thing happened with me. This is also quite expensive, made by Harley Davidson. Like you bought a Triumph, these guys are very expensive. So I bought this jacket. This has got armor. The good thing is it comes with armor. I've not installed it yet.
Okay.
But it has got all the pockets for shoulder, for your elbow, for the back. You see, and it has got some kind of mesh in it.
And this is a conversation which is as old as the hills. Now, one point of view is go ahead and use a leather jacket. Nothing will happen there.
Yeah.
Leather will only wear out a little bit, but the more you use it, the better
Tougher it becomes. Yeah.
Now, the other school of thought is leather is delicate, leather is fragile. Moment it gets wet, it loses its strength, it can stain, and all nasty things out. Now, the reason I'm saying it is we ride motorcycles and lots of things happen on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Dirt, sludge, smoke, pollution.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing,
From the Indian perspective, leather jackets don't make sense at all. It is only for strictly for winters. You can't wear in summers. You can't wear in rain.
But isn't it a kind of almost like a stereotype, motorcycles and leather jackets?
Of course it is, especially on a modern classic motorcycle. That is the reason I bought the Levi's one, because that is still retro and gives me protection, and I can wear that in summer.
Now tell me, if you were going on a long ride, say for 5-6 days, do you use your riding jacket also as a, wear in the evening protection against cold or elements?
On my tour?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
And which would be your number one choice?
Alpine Star Sandies.
And see, the reason
because it is functional. The leather one, not very functional.
the leather one is great to look at.
It's just fashion.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Just one last thing that I wanted you to talk about was so much gets written about the price of gear. I come from a school of thought where it's our life, right?
Correct.
But it's also our pocket. And lots of youngsters are getting into this trap of that I must have the best. If you can just directly tell our youngsters of why they should buy what they need and what their style of riding is. Reason I'm saying it is, and again this is not meant as criticism, I see a lot of touring bikes and people are wearing race spec gear.
Yes.
It's not something that I agree or recommend, but it's happening. And it could be happening for multiple reasons. One could be information, the other could be personal choice, the third could be somebody is picking looks over function.
Fourth point, which is knowledge. A lot of people don't know about different kinds of gear. Not that I am an expert, big guy who knows everything about it, but yes, a lot of people can't distinguish between a touring gear with a city riding gear, okay, or a race gear.
If you were to just quickly, and we'll wrap up with this, if you could just give us 3 points of what is the difference between touring gear, track gear,
Fashion. Yeah, I can tell you that. Touring gear, your jacket is supposed to be longer because you need to have deeper pockets, because there's a lot of stuff you keep on touring.
Sure.
Right? It should have a lot of pockets for your knickknacks. You want to keep some chewing gum, somebody buys some tissue papers or something like that, or a balaclava pocket, which is right behind this, right? You can remove a balaclava, it gets hotter, and you just slide it in.
Right.
So the touring jacket has to be very, very functional, all right? Whereas if you talk about a city ride jacket or a summer jacket in city, you're using, then a shorter jacket is suitable, right? Which like I showed you the Alpine Stars, the mesh jacket.
Yeah.
I showed it, or yeah, this one. Yeah, this is suitable for cities.
Yeah.
Short. You don't really feel hot because it is quite short. So this is a perfect jacket for that. Then comes your fashion jackets.
So mesh jackets are a little shorter than touring jackets.
Yes, they are little. Not little, it's perhaps 5 inches shorter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And that's also, I suppose, the reason is this connects to riding pants.
Correct.
And this covers your hips.
Correct. And also when it gets too cold, you can tighten up from here.
Got it.
And then comes your fashion jackets, the leather ones. Perhaps you can use it once or twice a year.
So here, if we were to agree that if I'm okay with experimenting with whatever weather and views may do, because the jury's out on that, then I could possibly tour in this.
No, you can't, because your neck is exposed. When you wear this kind of a jacket, your neck is exposed. It gets really cold. Then you need to spend more on buying other accessories, neck warmer. You need to buy a balaclava.
And this will be short jacket again.
Again, yes, it is a short jacket.
Understood. So from a touring perspective, it's really this kind of jacket.
Correct. Or the Aspida or a Rhinox.
And the brand and price combination is really what personal preference is.
Yeah, correct. If you don't mind spending about 15 to 18,000 rupees, this is the thing for you. If you're okay with spending 9